Welcome to the St John's Sixth Form Virtual Open Evening for 2020. My name is Ian Tucker, I'm the Principal of St John's, and I am going to open the meeting that we're going to have with you this evening. And then I will be handing over to Miss Haig Williams, who is the head of the Sixth Form, and also taking my place for the rest of the presentation will be Mr Harrison, who is head of Year 12. So, why St John's? Well, there are a number of really strong reasons for choosing St John's Sixth Form. Our results at St John's have been traditionally excellent. We are very proud of the fact that we continue to be in the top 10 to 15% of all schools nationally in terms of our outcomes, but the offer that we have is extremely wide, and every year we are seeking to add to the offers that we make. You will see when you get a chance to look at the website and go through that we have new subjects that we're offering for the first time. It's interesting, isn't it, that in the week when Great Britain commits to reducing petrol and diesel engine sales of cars by 2030, that this is the year that we have chosen to put environmental science as an option for our students. One of the themes of our school is that we take very seriously the importance of the climate and our role within it. The enrichment programme, which you'll hear a little bit more about later as well, it's a little bit hard at the moment with the COVID restrictions, but it's something that we are seeking to make the very most of, so that when you leave our sixth form at the end of year 13, not only will you have left with the best possible academic qualifications that you can get, but that you will have enhanced everything that you've been doing with our valuable varied enrichment programme. You will also be receiving, really well and truly before you get into the sixth form, very clear routes to higher education, to work and to apprenticeship schemes, all of which we have great access to, and our independent advice and guidance facilities are extremely important in that. And then encapsulating all of that are the excellent facilities that St John's offers. Purpose-built classrooms, corridors, hallways, community areas, theatres, places that you will be able to spend your time listening to the best quality teaching, making sure that your learning is the best it can be, and space and time to use it are not going to be getting in the way. Now, academic success, which I've alluded to, is important that you know. You are choosing, if you choose to remain at St John's or come to us for the first times, you are choosing an outstanding school. Our academic success at sixth form as well as Key Stage 4 has been outstanding. 59.3% of the students here last year in year 13 achieved A star to B grades, and 1 in 3, 35%, achieved the A star to A grades. And those students who chose to take a more vocational route with the applied courses achieved almost half a grade more than their original targets set at the start of their journey. This has led to excellent progression to Oxbridge, Russell Group, and all other universities and centres of higher education. And we want to make sure that this evening, or whenever it is that you choose to watch this presentation, that you can really scrutinise carefully what St John's has to offer and what makes it a bit different. The website has been really brought up to date with a chance for you to get insights from all faculty areas, from students themselves, and a chance to really look and understand at what the facilities have to offer you. And I am now going to hand over to Ms Haig Williams and to Mr Harrison, who will take you through the rest of the presentation. Before I go, just want to say thank you very much for watching, and if you are developing questions, comments that you would like to make, please do use the chat facility which you have access to. Some of those questions we'll be able to answer as we go, others there'll be a live Q&A event for you later on. Thank you very much for tuning in or watching whenever you do, and I hope you get the answers that you need to help make this important decision. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and can I please add my welcome to that from Mr Tucker. I'm Mrs Haig Williams, I'm the director of our sixth form here, and just joining me is Mr Harrison, who is our head of year 12. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the courses that we have on offer, the difference between A-level and applied courses, and Mr Harrison is going to talk to you about the other things that are on offer at St John's, and in particular how to apply which is obviously very important. Just before I have a look with you at the courses on offer, I just wanted to highlight some of our really high performing subjects. We were so proud of the grades that our students achieved, but in these subjects, the grades were absolutely phenomenal. So the top 4 are A-level courses: computer science, maths, further maths and chemistry, all had incredible results. But food and nutrition, sport, creative and media and performing arts, all applied courses, also had exceptional results. And I think whichever route your child or you choose to take at St John's, whether it's applied, whether it's A-levels or a mixture of both, you can be ensured that we will help you to achieve your best. So let's just have a think then about the difference between A-level and applied courses. So why choose A-levels first of all? Well, I think this is the traditional qualification that most of us are familiar with. Certainly when I was at school, that's what was on offer, and many parents would have taken the A-level route. These qualifications are assessed mainly through exams. Some of them have a small amount of coursework, and you can find that out if you look at the course descriptions on the website. All of these courses will be assessed by exams at the end of the 2 years, so assessing 2 years' work at the end of that, and normally through 3 exams. Why take them? Well, they offer access into a wide range of universities and career pathways, and the very top universities accept A-levels subjects. We offer 24 different A-level subjects here, and we also offer some AS courses. Now, these courses can be done on top of your A-levels as perhaps a 4th option if you want to get more UCAS points to help you get to university, or it's something you're interested in doing but you don't want to take as a full A-level. And at the moment we're offering ASs in maths, which is a core maths course. It's different to the main A-level maths course and has lower grade requirements. We also offer our language courses at AS as well as A-level, and the extended project qualification, which can either be done as a dissertation, an artefact or a performance. And again, you can find out so much more information about these if you read our course descriptions. We do have entry requirements for all our courses, which can be seen on our website, but in general, we would expect a minimum of a 5 for an A-level subject in that subject at GCSE, or if it's a new subject, there'll probably be an English, maths or science requirement. So what about applied courses? There seem to be a lot of myths around about applied courses, about how perhaps they're not valued as much by universities as our A-level courses. And I have to tell you that is wrong. Our universities are actually very happy to accept students from either pathway. So taking an applied course or a mixed pathway where you mix A-levels and BTEC courses is absolutely fine to do. So what's different about them? Well, the way they're assessed, I think, is the main difference. They're assessed mainly through coursework, and they do have exams, but they are throughout the course rather than just at the end. And there is an opportunity to retake those exams once if you do not do as well as you would like to improve your grade. And these can allow access into a wide range of universities and career pathways. They possibly may not take to Oxford or Cambridge, but just about every other university would accept them. And the points that they carry, the UCAS points, are directly equivalent to A-level. So for instance, if you get a top mark for an applied course of a distinction star, that's exactly equivalent to an A star at A-level. So these can be very useful in improving your overall point score for the university. The applied courses have a slightly lower grade requirement, not because they are easier, and that's important, they are not the easy option. It's simply because there's a little bit less remembering to do because the courses are assessed at different points and through coursework. So we expect a 4 for these courses as well as our minimum requirements to come into St John's. The requirement will probably be in maths or science or in English, and that can be seen on the course requirement sheet. We currently have 9 applied courses that you can choose from, and a wide range of things. Some were quite exciting, actually. For instance, forensic science. They're a really exciting, different way to look at science and a particular career route some people might want to take. But you do need to be a little bit careful with these applied courses. Some of them are worth more than a single A level. Forensics, for instance, is equivalent to 1.5 A levels, as is creative and media. So we'd require you to do an EPQ with courses like that in order to make it up to 2 full A levels. Or if you took 3 courses, you'd have equivalent to 3.5 A levels when you finish. I'm going to hand over to Mr. Harrison now, our head of Year 12, who's going to talk you through some other aspects of our sixth form.
Hello, I'm Mr. Harrison, I'm head of Year 12, as Mrs. Page correctly said. I'll now take you through some of the opportunities available to sixth form students here at St John's. Okay, there are opportunities for our sixth formers to develop their leadership skills, and we have an active sixth form prefect team. The prefect team help with organisation of lots of activities in and around school, but also in the wider Marlborough community. We offer the opportunity for students to study an EPQ, an extended project qualification. Mrs. Haig-Williams has already mentioned this. It's equivalent to half an A level. The EPQ requires a high level of independence, but many universities look favourably on students who apply to their courses having taken an EPQ. We also offer the cyber EPQ. Further details of the EPQ can be found on our website. We ask that all students engage in physical activity, and this year at St John's we introduced sport for all Year 12 students onto the curriculum. Students are able to choose the sport they wish to pursue, and the options are quite varied. Table tennis, netball and football are typical examples, but there are many others. We also encourage students to be involved in some area of voluntary work around the school, and there are many opportunities to do this. Opportunities may include helping with the drama productions, working on the award-winning school magazine, or mentoring younger students in maths or English, for example. Details of volunteering opportunities are posted on a notice board in the sixth form common room. There's also an active environmental group here at St John's. Schools for Environmental Action was established by St John's and is led by a UN accredited climate change teacher, Mr. Friend, who also happens to be the head of science here. We offer core maths as an AS qualification, and in previous years, sixth form students have been on a wide range of trips, both in the UK and abroad. The Gambia, Florence, Rome and Athens have been typical destinations, but of course we can't promise any trips just at the moment abroad due to current restrictions. Okay, our routes beyond the sixth form. So at St John's we have a fantastic careers advice and guidance provision. Mrs. Havel and Mrs. Smith are full-time careers advisors here, and they advise and support students across the school. There is a link to further information on careers on our website. We also have a very experienced sixth form tutor team who are always ready and always able to help with advice for students. We have an excellent track record of successful applicants to Oxbridge and Russell Group universities. This year is no different, with just short of 30 students applying to either Oxbridge or for medicine, dentistry and veterinary courses. We've got a wellbeing programme for all Year 12 students. Students attend wellbeing lessons once a fortnight. We also use this time to support students with their UCAS and apprenticeship applications. In previous years, we've had a number of guest speakers for Year 12 from universities and local businesses who have come into school to talk on themes such as financial advice, road safety awareness, job opportunities, and we will continue to do this as we move forward. Okay, our environment then. We're very lucky in the sixth form to have a number of designated spaces available for our growing sixth form. The 3 photographs show firstly, on the left, students in the sixth form canteen counter. This area is in the sixth form common room where students can buy hot and cold food, drinks, snacks, and that can take place between break time and all the way through to lunch. The middle photograph shows a section of the sixth form silent library, a space dedicated to silent work for sixth form students only. And on the right, you'll see a photograph of students working in the sixth form study centre, a large study space that can accommodate approximately 40 students. And there are, of course, other spaces available to work in and around school. Okay, the sixth form pathways then. There are 3 pathways available for students to follow. On the left, an A-level pathway where students will choose to study 3 or 4 A-levels with an optional EPQ. To follow this pathway, at least 4 grade 5s plus 2 grade 4s will be needed at GCSE, with at least grade 5s in the subjects chosen to study in the sixth form. In the middle, shows a mixed pathway, which would include a blend of A-levels and applied courses. Students would need at least 6 grade 4s to study this pathway, but once again, grade 5s needed in the chosen A-level subjects. The applied pathway, where students would select applied courses only, at least 6 grade 4s at GCSE will be needed to study this pathway, and that's outlined at the right. All pathways give students the opportunity to study at university or take on an apprenticeship after St John's, but students wanting to go down an Oxbridge or Russell Group University route would need to follow the A-level pathway. There are some variations in course requirements, and those are detailed in our subject areas on the website. Okay, the transition process then. Some key dates here. November, we're in November already, which seems like at the beginning of your year 11. It seems a little bit early to start thinking about A-level courses, but we need to do that ASAP. In January, we have the deadline for applications, in fact, January the 15th. March, we would hope to be completing interviews for both internal and external applicants. Followed later on in July, where we intend to hold the induction day. Course registration would follow on from the release or following the release of the GCSE results in August.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Harrison. Please be aware those dates are just slightly different in the prospectus and on the website, because obviously we're constantly adapting as things change with GCSE results day and the time that GCSEs are sat and COVID and so on. So just be aware of that. We're now going to take a short pause, and we'll be back in just a few minutes to answer the questions that have come in. And if you've got more questions, keep them coming, please, and we will answer those, as I say, in a few minutes. Thank you very much. Welcome back, and we've got lots of questions coming in. Thank you very much for those. We will answer them as many as we can as the evening goes on. So to start with, I have been asked, how does the school day work for sixth formers? What is the structure of the day, the school hours, the length of each period, lunch, and so on? Well, things are slightly different in the sixth form than it is for the rest of the school, but the school day is the same. Lessons begin at 8:40. We have a tutor period in the middle of the day. At the moment, it's a split tutor period. Break, period 3. Then we have the early lunch and periods 4 and 5 in the afternoon. It is compulsory for year 12s to be in all morning, and we would expect students to be in until lunchtime. In the afternoon, if they don't have lessons, they're able to sign out of school and go home and study there. If they remain in school, there are private study spaces that they can use. Each period is 1 hour long. Lunch is just under an hour at 50 minutes, and many of our sixth formers choose to go into town at that time and buy snacks in town, or of course they can use our sixth form cafe in our common room.
Thank you, Mrs. Haig. Second question we've got here is it possible to change one of my A-level subjects on results day? Well, changing courses, yeah, we can change courses on results day and up to about the 3rd week into the academic year, but that's dependent on spaces on the course and whether you have achieved the requirements to study that subject. Don't forget as well that we post summer work to be done before the term starts. So if it's something you're thinking about doing, make sure you check out the summer work as well on the website. And any questions, fire an email our way and we'll do our best to answer that after results day.
Okay, next question for me. How much homework will be set per week? Well, we're on a 2-week timetable, and for each subject we have 9 hours per week for the subject that is timetabled, and we'd expect the same amount of work to be done out of school in your own time. Some of that can be done in your timetable private study sessions. You have 6 of those a week, 6 of those a fortnight. but we would be expecting more work to be done at home in your own time. And particularly if you're pushing for those high grades, it's really important to do independent work beyond the homework that's set, and teachers will guide you in what to do.
Thank you. What is the dress code? Okay, when we say dress for work, not formal but not beachwear, nothing too revealing, no rude logos, that sort of thing. I think common sense is the right approach here. And if you're uncertain about whether it's appropriate or not, it probably isn't. Can you also make sure that when you're doing your PE option, you wear PE clothes or suitable clothes for the activities you're doing?
Thank you. I've been asked, how does parking at the school work once we can drive? Well, we have allocated parking spaces for sixth formers to use at the far end of the car park. And if you would like to apply for one of those, you apply to the sixth form office, giving us the details of your car, and those will be allocated to students who apply. We do encourage students to use public transport because of our environmental credentials, or to car share when it's not COVID. But those spaces are available, so we appreciate for some students it's just not possible to come by public transport.
Okay, thanks. Question about school lunches in the sixth form. The sixth form have a slightly earlier lunch than some of the school. They have it soon after 12, about 12:20, and you can eat in the canteen upstairs, or there's a new sort of food booth just outside in the courtyard, just outside of school. Payment for food tends to be, it's a cashless system we use here, so students will have to register a thumbprint and put money onto a PayPal account, parent pay account, and then pay for food that way. But also, we've recently introduced a card paying system as well. So it's no cash, it's either parent pay using the thumbprint or using a card, and those are the ones that we see moving forward into next year.
Yes, I think it's worth saying on that point that the cafe upstairs in the sixth form common room does a quite different offer to the rest of the school. There's a coffee machine up there, do the most amazing chocolate twists, and there's lots of cake and chocolate available. So perhaps not the most healthy options, but allowing students to make choices which they perhaps can't make lower down the school. All the healthy options exist as well. Next question I've got is, if my child does 3 A levels, can they also do an EPQ? Absolutely. We would encourage students to consider an EPQ, because we know that both universities and employers really hold it in high regard. It's a course that is largely independent, so it shows that a student can work by themselves. It shows that a student has got what it takes to run a project from beginning to end that lasts over a year. So it shows good skills for both universities and employers. And of course, if you're applying to one of the top universities, as well as additional UCAS points, it's one of the activities which they look for on the UCAS form. And because we have also the cyber EPQ, I think we've got a really good EPQ offer here. So absolutely, yes, it is encouraged.
Okay, we've got a few questions coming in as well on the messages here. And one of those is, how many students are there in each class? Well, I can take that one. On average, we'd say around about 15 maybe. But that can vary depending on the course that you're studying. Some courses have much fewer students in the class and some have a few more. We tend not to have more than about 23, 24 in any class for any subject. And of course, those subjects which are practical subjects, we tend to have a fewer anyway. Okay. Another one coming through is business studies is shown as a TBA. When will this course be confirmed?
Okay, so that's just an error. We'll get that one sorted tomorrow. The course is confirmed. It's a BTEC course that we offer here, the level 3 BTEC course. It's running in year 12 at the moment, and we have a new business studies teacher who's taking that course. So please don't worry, that is definitely happening.
Okay, are there any additional subjects being added in 2021?
Well, environmental science is our big new offer. There's a possibility of A-level music as well, which you'll see in the course descriptions. But because we have such a wide range of subjects already, we haven't added any other than those at this time.
Okay, I can take this one. What grade should you get in GCSE Maths to comfortably do further maths at A level, I think the maths department would like to see students with a grade 7 or above to do further maths. Again, I think that's something that the information about courses is available on our website. If you follow the tab that says subjects and look at the information about individual courses, if you're unsure, then you can always email us or with any further questions about any courses. If it's not clear on the website, we'll do our best to get back to you as soon as possible.
I can see a question here asking, how many courses can you do for the combined pathway 3 or 4? Well, all students have the opportunity to do 4 courses if it fits with the timetabling, but we actually encourage students to do 3 and possibly an AS. And the reason for this is quite simply doing 4 complete A-levels or a mixture of A-levels and BTECs is a huge workload, and the applied courses have a huge workload all the way through the course because of the requirement for coursework and practical work. So therefore, because universities generally offer based on 3 subjects, we think it's better to have 3 really good A-level or BTEC qualifications than 4 perhaps not so good because you haven't been able to focus on it. That said, there are certain courses which lend themselves well to being a 4th choice, and I would say further maths is obviously in that category because you need to do maths to do that, and it really supports the work you're doing in maths. And additionally, the new environmental science A-level could be used as an additional 4th choice. If a student wants to do 4 courses, we'll discuss it with them, we'll talk through the workload, and generally we will be offering that to students with GCSE grades averaging at 7 or more.
Okay, great. I've got a question about the interviews. Can you tell us more about the interviews? Well, we covered this a little bit in our presentation earlier, but the interviews will take place in March. That's both for internal and external students. And it's not like a job interview. It's not a case of coming in, we'll make a decision whether you're in or not. That decision will be determined essentially by your GCSE grades. And so the purpose of the interview is to get to know you a little bit and check you're on the right pathway, and that you know that, you know, as you head into sort of A-levels or BTECs, that you're doing the right thing for you.
I think it's worth saying at the moment we don't know for external candidates whether those interviews will be virtually or in person, but obviously for students already at St John's, those will be in person. So next question I've got here is, can you do a combination of A-level and applied courses? Also, where are the comparisons between applied courses and A-levels? So, for instance, what is sport equivalent to? So Mr Harrison did say when we looked at the pathways, you can do a mixed pathway which combines A-levels and BTECs or other applied courses. And in fact, that's a really good route to take because it means you have some coursework going through the whole year, and it means you have some exams at the end. So it allows you to manage your time very, very effectively. In fact, both my own children took that pathway and it took them to university. The equivalencies mentioned earlier for instance, sport, if you got a distinction, star, in your applied sport course, that's equivalent to an A star at A level. And merit is a B, I believe, but we can have a look at the equivalencies and we'll put that onto the website for you. The only thing to say with sport is we also offer a double award sport, which is equivalent to 2 A levels. So with sport, you can do a single, which is equivalent to 1 A level, or a double that's equivalent to 2. So there's a choice to make there.
Thank you. Question about students. What percentage of your sixth form have come from other schools? At the beginning of the year, I do a little session with students who've come to St John's from other schools, and this year we've got in the range of about 30 students. A typical year group in year 12 will be about 200, so that's that over previous years, 30 to 40, maybe sometimes even 50 of students will be coming from other schools, so that hopefully gives you a bit of an idea. On top of that, this year we've got students coming from over 20 different schools, and they can range from those in the local area to sometimes students coming from abroad. We have had 2 students come from schools overseas this year, so quite a mix.
Okay, will teachers guide students towards which A-level courses they should apply for? Yes, absolutely. On the application form, which is available on the website, you will see that you're asked to get your current teachers to sign the forms to say that you're suitable for A-levels. And this is an opportunity to discuss with your teacher what the A-level involves and whether it's the right choice for you. We'll also discuss it with you at interview. Whether you're a St John's student or a student from another school, we will have your predicted grades and your mock grades in front of us, and we can see quite clearly whether you've made the right choices or not, and we can talk through what your career aspirations are and whether those are the right courses for what you want to do and what you want to go on to do. If you're still a little bit uncertain about whether you have the academic ability for certain courses, it's worth taking another look at the grade requirement sheet, because we have a minimum grade requirement and a desirable grade requirement. Now, the desirable lets you know a little bit how hard the course is going to be. So if we say you can do the course with a grade 6 at GCSE, but grade 7 is desirable, and you're just getting a grade 6, you might think that maybe that course is not for you, or it might be something you'd like to discuss with us at interview.
Great, thank you. If I was to study A-level music, what facilities are available? Well, information on the music department will be on our website, and I'd advise you to have a look at that. Rather than me trying to get into the technicalities of stuff that's available in the music department, I would suggest that that happens. But I do know that they're a very supportive, very hardworking, fantastic department. So please, I would advise, look at the website, look at their subject page. Any problems, email the contact there, which should be available again on the website.
I think also in the student video, there's a little section in the music department, so you can see some of the facilities there. For the sports course, do you accept Cambridge National Qualification? Yes, we do. And on the grade requirement sheet, if it doesn't have the course you're doing in the minimum requirements, then just ask us and we can tell you what the equivalencies are.
Okay, is it okay not to take an essay-based subject at A-level, or is it recommended? I think, you know, that's your choice. I mean, I think for students in year 11 at the minute need to take advice and think very carefully about where they want to be in 2 or 3 years' time, and that will determine your A-level choices. Speak with your tutors, speak with your subject teachers, but we have plenty of students who are doing 3 subjects which aren't essay-based subjects. The only thing to remember to think about here is that if they're coursework-based subjects, there's a lot of time management, things that you need to consider, and check out the deadlines and think carefully about the balance of, you know, doing exam work versus coursework. So again, I would advise that you take advice, but certainly give some consideration to where you might want to be in 2 or 3 years' time, and that probably will determine your subject choices.
Okay, so next question, do all level 3 applied courses include additional maths and English lessons? And if so, do students who do well in these subjects at GCSE have to do them? The only students who do English and maths in the 6th form are those who've chosen the A-level courses, or those who haven't got a grade 4 in the GCSEs, so they will be retaking those courses. There is not additional English and maths in the applied courses, just like there isn't in the A-level courses, but they will be using those skills. So that's why the requirement to have 4s in English or maths for those courses is there. And again, look at the grade requirement sheet and it shows exactly what you need. But just to reiterate, students coming into the 6th form who haven't got grade 4 in maths or English will need to retake that during the 6th form. And they'll be entered first in November and hopefully pass it then, and then they can drop back from their timetable. But if necessary, they'll be entered again in June and so on until they have the qualification. I have to say, our students are very successful at passing the courses that they need to retake, and that's generally very small groups working with experienced retake teachers.
Okay, I'm just going to skip one because there's an art-based question just here. Would it be better to do A-levels in art and photography or a UAL level 3 in art and design if a student wants a career in creative arts? Okay, so I think in terms of choices in the arts, that the important thing is to start to build up a portfolio, and after A-levels or after, you know, the 6th form, the next step would be to apply to do a foundation course. Now, foundation courses will take you based on a portfolio work rather than necessarily look at your subjects. that you've done at GCSE or A level. However, you need to again be thinking about the next step beyond foundation, and if you're interested in a career in the arts and you're already looking at courses at university, see what they're suggesting. What courses do they like to see students do? Regular route will be to do A levels and all any other qualification at sixth form level, but then to move on to do a foundation course before going on to do a degree in either art or photography or the creative arts.
Okay. How does the sixth form perform on the humanities subject? Well, I guess the humanities weren't mentioned on that high performing subject list that we put earlier, but that is subjects which are performing at an incredibly high level. Our humanities subjects do very well at St John's. We have a very vibrant humanities department, very strong uptake for geography, history, for politics, for philosophy and ethics. So, if you want to know more about the humanities, then please do talk to the course leaders and read the course descriptions. Okay.
Is there any transport from St John's to the Lavingtons? In terms of bus provision, we tend to look at provision we need to supply depending on applicants. Information and nailing down, I guess, the information about buses and knowing what's happening this year will take place in the very near future, and we will post that out on our website once we've got confirmed details about what buses are running. But at the moment, yes, there is a bus that goes out to the Lavington.
Would it be harder to get in if you don't already go to St John's? It hasn't been in previous years. We are looking at your results and we're looking at your interview. And obviously we do have responsibility to take our own students, and the sixth form is slightly oversubscribed, but we have managed to take all the students who wanted to get in the past. So we'd encourage you, if you're at a different provider, to apply to us, come for your interview or talk to us at your interview, see if we're the right fit for you, and if you are, you would be very welcome.
Okay, in the sixth form, are there sports teams for the sixth formers and matches to play as well? If so, what sports? Again, that depends on the level of interest from students. If students want to put together a football team, then the PE department will help facilitate that, or a rugby team or netball team, whatever students want to do, we'll do our best to support you in that. But if there isn't the interest in that, then obviously we won't run that. So I think very early on in the year, we'll be talking to students about sports teams and provision for inter-school games, possibly. Again, as I said, that will be dependent on levels of interest from students when they arrive.
What support is offered to children with dyslexia? We have a very strong SEND department here run by Mrs. Cardy, and it continues to support students in the sixth form. We do offer some one-to-one support, particularly with things like organisation for students with SEND needs. And I think really it's a question of talking to us about students' needs and what support they need, and we can see what we can provide. So I would suggest if there are specific things that you'd like to talk to us about, that you do so. Thank you.
Okay, is there a minimum or desired grade to achieve in maths if you want to do an economics A level? Again, that information I would suggest will be on the subject area on the website, but I believe it's a grade 5.
I believe so, yes.
In maths, if you want to study economics at A level, it is quite a maths-based A level, so I would suggest that, again, take a look on the website on the subjects and that will be confirmed on there.
Is physics a good A level to take with maths? Absolutely. Both chemistry and physics are really supported by taking maths because of the nature of those courses, and it's a very common combination. Some students will add further maths to that as well, and that's such a great combination to take you into engineering career routes as well as other routes. So yes, absolutely. Had a few more questions come in via email. How many students in each class? I think you mentioned that already, Mr.
Yeah.
Harrison. Our largest class will probably be around 24, 25, but we do have generally classes somewhere between 10 and 15. Some classes are much smaller, it depends on the subject. And when will sixth form offers be made? They'll be made after interview. So if we interview in March, you'll be given a conditional offer based on you getting the correct GCSE grade in order to do your courses. So that's all the questions that have come in. But obviously, if you do have more questions, then do contact us. All our contact information is on the website. And now we'd really encourage you to have a look around the website. There's so much on offer there. Have a look at what students have to say about our sixth form, our head boy and girl talking about St John's and why they feel so proud to represent it. To have a look at courses on offer. There's a video for each of the courses made by teachers, students, or a mixture of both. And the St John's Extra, where we talk about the additional things that you can get from St John's. But just to summarise, this is a big sixth form, and that means we can offer so many different opportunities, from the huge variety of courses on offer to those individual things like our strong environmental ethos, which runs through our sixth form. So we urge you to have a really good look around the website. Talk to us if you have any questions. And for me, that's good evening.
Thanks very much. Hope to see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.